My name is Dr. Godwin. I'm a medical doctor by profession. I have keen interest in preventive health. I have keen interest in preventing people from going to the hospital. I have keen interest in reducing the burden of non-communicable diseases that is plaguing the world. I have keen interest in reducing the amount of money spent, that government spent in health, because health costs billions of dollars all over the world. And the only way we can reduce that burden, that expenditure, that will not crumble growing economies like in Africa, is to go towards prevention. So that is why I have great passion for prevention. And I am so proud and privileged to be part of this movement that is a global mega trend in introducing the test-based nutrition, which will herald a new form of cardiovascular risk assessment, a new form of preventive cardiovascular health especially, that will help to prevent common diseases that are plaguing us today. Diseases like hypertension, diabetes, myocardial infarction, heart attack, cancer, and the rest of them, that are even being much of a pandemic, killing people much more than the known COVID-19 that everybody is turning towards. You know, the COVID-19 came and distracted the whole world, and people forget that things like stroke, hypertension, diabetes are still plaguing us. In fact, those who have those who have those chronic conditions tend to die more of COVID-19. When they are being infected, they tend to die more. That underscores the importance of this preventive strategy in reducing this plague called non-communicable diseases. So I think now, with what is happening all over the world with the global mega trend, there is now a paradigm shift from therapeutic-centered healthcare to preventive-centered healthcare. Because whether we like it or not, prevention still remains far, far better than cure. Because according to Socrates, the father of modern medicine, he said that let your food be your medicine and let your medicine be your food. Even Albert Einstein, who also opined that the doctors of the future will not treat human frame with drugs, but they will treat human frame with what? Nutrition. Because whether we like it or not, that which we eat is what is contributory to our state of health. So the focus now is towards nutrition. The focus now is towards what enters our body, what enters our stomach. And it has been advised that whenever you feel sick, the first thing you should do is to go and ask yourself what you have not been eating right. The world has been polarized. Western diet has plagued the whole world, that people who actually go on Mediterranean diets are very harmful, few persons. And because of that, the overconsumption of those kinds of food that contribute to our poor state of health, that is why the world, as we speak today, is completely out of balance. That is why when you have things like COVID-19 pandemic, people die in dozens. Before you could say Jack Robinson, people are dying in their numbers. Even health systems that have been known to be very strong have been shown to bow to this pandemic because of the burden of non-communicable diseases. Because at the age when the humans start becoming older, start becoming aging, when aging sets in, because of the years of intake of those foods that contribute to our poor state of health, because of years, the human frame is so frail that any slightest provocation that destabilizes the health can lead to demise. And that is what has contributed, whether we like it or not, that is what has contributed to the mortality we had in COVID-19. The mortality we had. So this is a time that the world has learned from their mistake. The world has learned, and there is now a paradigm shift. And that is why we thank a company like Zinzino that has come to introduce the test-based nutrition, which is now the global mega trend. And it has given birth to a renewed wellness revolution that is now sweeping the globe. And we enjoy every person here who is a health practitioner, who is everybody, not just health practitioners, everybody involved, to all hands on deck to make sure that this gospel, this message of preventive health is taken to the latter. So I want to start my presentation on this note. We want to feel good and stay fit and be healthy. That is a dream of everybody. In fact, people who have forgotten their health tend to realize that they have been lagging behind during the pandemic. But even as people try to stay healthy, and indulge in one or two activities like working out, exercise, trying as much as possible to the best of their knowledge to eat right, the world is still plagued with these non-communicable diseases. The world is still plagued. So many health-related problems are on the increase. That is why people are asking why. What is now the problem? Is there something we are not doing right? Is there something health authorities are not getting? Is there something that is going wrong? People are asking questions. Because whether we like it or not, if you continue to do what you are doing, you will keep getting the same results. But the moment you go back to the drawing board and ask yourself why, what is it that we are not getting right, and change strategies, and change campaigns, and change methods, things will start changing. But if we don't plug into that paradigm shift, we will remain the way we were, and the next pandemic will come and even be much more devastating. That is the paradigm shift. So people are asking why, and the more people ask why, the more results, the more answers come. Like I have said, let your food be thy medicine, and let your medicine be thy food. Centuries back, long years, thousands of years back, the father of modern medicine has opined. And whether we like it or not, this assertion still stands today. This assertion is still significant in the health status of the world. Now, I am so opportune to be a student of international public health. And being a student of international public health has given me an insight of the origin of the diseases plaguing the world. And that is why I appreciate this campaign that we are doing. That is why I'm so much excited to be part of it, because I know that it is going to change the world for better, just a matter of time, which has already started happening. It is time for us to bring the world to the consciousness of the health and what we need to do right that we have been getting wrong. We used to eat food from Mother Nature. I can bet you that our forefathers ate better food. They were better in terms of food than us today. In fact, those prehistoric times, those ancient times, that there were no technological advancement, nothing like computers, nothing like Zoom, nothing like phone, nothing like electricity. These, our forefathers, ate better meals, and they lived healthier and they lived longer. But because their foods were full of vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, micronutrients, beta-glucans, fibers, healthy fats, and good balance of omega-6 and omega-3. But what is happening today? A lot of things have changed. Today we eat man-made food. It is not food from nature. We have been so much, and we have been so intelligent. We are so much advanced. God has given us the wisdom, but we have used the wisdom in such a way that we have changed what nature has in store and make it man-made, in the guise of trying to make life comfortable. Now you have a lot of packaged foods. Now you have a lot of foods that have been, altered in the laboratory. You have a lot of alterations in the food. You have a lot of addition of unwanted food substances, lower nutrition density, Foods high in sugar, the sugar content, if only you look at what you buy in the stores, the sugar content, you will understand what is actually the reason why the non-communicable diseases are on the rise. Many are empty calories, a lot of calories, but empty nutrients. A lot of calories, but empty nutrients. Low in fibers, less healthy fats, and with an imbalance of omega-6 and omega-3. Why are we so much interested in the imbalance of omega-6 and omega-3? Now, but look at what happens. The malnutrition we know, there are actually two dimensions of it. The first dimension is a type A malnutrition, which is lack of most nutrients, which we know as the protein energy malnutrition, which is plaguing especially war-torn countries. But be that as it may, the type B malnutrition is even much more of a disaster compared to the type A. It's much more because the world does not know about it. A lot of people don't know about it. The one people know about, it is being tackled. The one people don't know about is what is plaguing the world, because whether we like it or not, these foods you see here, especially eaten by our children are the ones mostly affected by this imbalanced diet, because they crave for it. And most parents, just because they want to please their children, they go and give it to them so that they can be happy. These nutrients have lack of nutrients because they lack omega-3, they lack fiber, they lack antioxidants, they lack good phytonutrients, they lack good vitamins, but they are so much overnourished with calories, high omega-6 content, and unhealthy fats. All this will never make the human body to be healthy. Why are we so much bothered about this food? Because whether we like it or not, as you are eating this food, you may not be feeling anything, you may not be bothered. Oh, you eat one. The foods, most of them are very delicious. They taste nice. Because they taste nice, and you tell yourself, but I feel good after eating it. But I call it a false feeling, because the food that you are taking is going to cause DNA damage. Because whether we like it or not, this structure you are seeing now is what controls everything that happens in the body. The structure you are seeing controls everything that happens in the body. If this structure is affected, it could be sending a message wrong. It is sending a wrong signal for the cells to divide to form a particular kind of cancer. It is sending a wrong signal for the cells not to divide, and thereby causing congenital malformations in the growing fetus. It could be sending us. The cells could be producing chemicals that are actually not needed by the body. I hope I'm very audible. I hope I'm not breaking. Okay, but it happens over years, and the human frame is not aware of this. Human frame, because it doesn't give you, it is not about what you feel. It is important to know what happens inside you, because you will not feel 90% of what goes wrong in the body cannot be felt. But the damages will be going on for years, until when it has gone to the level where it has to now give you symptoms. Unfortunately, many people believe that they are eating healthy while on type B malnutrition. But the results show that that's not true. Because even those who did sports are also hit by these chronic diseases, because the exercise that is being done cannot give the body what the body cannot produce. The exercise can help to burn off excessive fat, give the body some form of physical health and metabolism, but it cannot manufacture what the body demands us to get from food. What the body demands us to get from food, exercise cannot manufacture. Otherwise, all these things will not be happening. So at the end of it all, people still see themselves land in the hospital. But what happens in the DNA is so primed and so programmed to give us an omega-6 / omega-3 ratio, 1:1. But over time, with what has been happening and the trend, science has come to recommend that the omega-6 / omega-3 ratio should be what? 3:1. At least 3:1. Anything below 3:1 is safe. The cells cannot misbehave. You are safe. It prevents a lot from going wrong. Why is omega-6 and omega-3 important? We will talk about it in the course of this presentation. So anything above 4:1, this is a turning point where the cell starts to get mad. Things begin to go wrong. And these things accumulate. It gets worse even when the ratio is 15:1 and above. It multiplies. This misbehavior, this senselessness from the cells multiply. And because once this happens, there is now an imbalance in the omega-6 / omega-3 because of we lack key nutrients. And what is this key nutrient? Why is there an imbalance? Because the omega-3 that is supposed to come to balance the ratio is no longer there. We take little of it. Most of the foods we eat give us access. Most of the foods we eat give us access to omega-6. Because whether we like it or not, the omega-6 and omega-3 are the essential fatty acids, are important essential fatty acids that the body cannot produce. We must take them from food. So the question we ask ourselves, the foods we are eating on a daily basis, do we have a reasonable amount of quantity, the daily requirements of omega-3 in the diet? If we don't have it, then that imbalance will be there. And once the imbalance is there, the body suffers. The body suffers. There is no balance. Something must suffer. And every part of the body that is affected, that is concerned, that is affected in one way or the other will suffer. Why is the quantity, this balance important? Because the omega-6 and omega-3 are important constituents in the cell membrane. We've heard of the lipid bilayer of the cell membrane. This lipid bilayer, you see, phospholipids, they call it phospholipids, sandwiched. Phospholipids, a protein bilayer sandwiched by 2 phospholipids. Now you see, the proteins inside the cell membranes, they are the message, they form the receptors and they have the function they perform. Now the lipid aspect of it, the lipid bilayer aspect of it should have a ratio of 3:1 of the omega-6 and the omega-3. Now, when you have more of omega-6, the cell membrane becomes hard and rigid. The cell membrane becomes hard and rigid because it lacks the kinky nature of the omega-6 chain. Because it lacks the kinky nature of the omega-3 chain. The omega-3 chain has a kinked nature. So the lack of that kinked nature will make the cell membrane to be hard. Subsequent presentations, I'll bring a picture to represent this I just said. It will make it to be hard. And once it is hard, nutrients cannot easily flow in to the cells. And waste products cannot easily come out. What happens? The cell will suffer definitely. Because the cell is structural and the function unit of life. If the group of cells in the brain is affected severely, it will affect tissues. It will affect organ, which is the brain. The brain will definitely malfunction because the cellular makeup are malfunctioning. So, but what happens when you now have the right balance? When you have the right balance of omega-6 and omega-3, which is 3:1, the cell membranes become healthy. And whether we like it or not, science have proven it. Several research articles, several studies have proven that once you have the ratio 3:1 and below, your cell membranes, it is bound to make your cell membrane to be soft, flexible, fluidy. The cell membrane is supposed to be fluidy. There's a reason why God has made it possible for the same membrane to be fluid. And once that happens, nutrients can easily get in, waste products can easily get out. Chemicals, messengers, DNA can function very well. Gene expression can go smoothly. Chemical messengers can easily be produced. Hormones can easily be produced that regulates the total functioning of the human body. The reason why these diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and the rest of them do occur is because of dysregulation in the production from the cells. Because when a particular chemical that should regulate a particular function is lacking, that function cannot be regulated. It becomes a problem. For example, hypertension. When those chemical messengers that should regulate the dilation and constriction of blood vessels are no longer there, what happens? There can be no regulation. Any slightest stress or provocation can shoot the blood pressure up, and it can remain so. And of course, we also know what these things can lead to the body. So you see, the omega-3 fatty acids are very important, as been shown by several research articles. They are very, very important because they provide the starting point for making hormones that regulate blood clotting, contraction and relaxation of arterial wall, which affects the blood pressure, and inflammation. You see, a lot of functions of the omega-3 fatty acids and even their role in inflammatory processes has also been underscored and be understood. Even the role the fish oil supplementation has on hemodialysis patients have also been underscored. Even the role of the omega-6 are also good. Now, the association between omega-6, but the association between omega-6, higher omega-6, and the pathogenesis of diabetes has also been shown. It means that the imbalance of this ratio has also been shown to be tied to a lot of diseases. So you see, the importance of the imbalance of the omega-6 and omega-3, the importance of the omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acid ratio in cardiovascular health and in other chronic diseases has been well studied extensively in studies, articles, researches that has been published in PubMed. So that is why this campaign is so important, as to help to use this scientific evidence to help to reduce the burden of non-communicable diseases. So a lower ratio of omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acid is more desirable in reducing the risk of chronic diseases of higher prevalence in Western society, as well as in the developing world. Now, a ratio of 2:1 reduced in rectal cell proliferation in patients with, you see, it cuts across all systems of the body, because it is the cell membrane we are talking about. And all systems, the body is made up of cells. They are structurally, they are functioning, helping the body to function very well. Now, the question we should be asking ourselves, which is what I know everybody who is here will be asking themselves, is what zone are we? What zone do we find ourselves? What zone do we find ourselves? That's the question, because whether we like it or not, if you are imbalanced, it doesn't give you a signal, but it starts giving you a signal when the imbalance has now resulted to a particular disease condition. I don't expect us to wait until our imbalance ratio leads to a disease condition. It is important for us to know our ratio. Ask questions about our ratio, know our ratio, then after knowing the ratio, take steps to keep our ratio to the WHO recommended 4:1 or lower. In fact, the 4:1 recommendation for WHO now is no longer tenable as they are beginning to see the need to further reduce this recommendation to make it to tie to 3:1 because of the importance of reducing the ratio. You see, so where our children are today is around 25:1 because what they are eating today is not what we ate. Their diet is so much imbalanced than what we ate when we are children. But of course, where we probably are today is around 15:1. Where we should be, including ourselves and our children, is 3:1 and below. Because if we are imbalanced, we have an imbalance in omega-6 and omega-3. That means that the quantity of omega-3 is far, far reduced. And not just that it is reduced, even the little amount of omega-3 we have is rapidly oxidized because we lack adequate polyphenols. Polyphenols are antioxidants. We lack adequate polyphenols in our diet. And of course, generally a global low levels of vitamin D3 is a plague. So how can we know? Tests don't lie. The only way you check your blood pressure today is to go and check it. Use the instruments, you go to the hospital, you are checked. The only way you get to know your sugar level, to know whether you are already diabetic without knowing, to know whether you are pre-diabetic without knowing, to know whether you are non-diabetic, to know where you belong, is to check your sugar level. You cannot feel it until it has caused the overt disease has been started manifesting. Some people get to know their diabetic state when they are already a comatose patient in the hospital because of the diabetic complications are setting. The only way you know your cholesterol level is to go and get your lipid profile assayed. That is the only way you get to know. A lot of people will be moving around with dyslipidemia, deranged lipid levels, high LDL, low HDL. A lot of people are moving around thinking they are living healthy. But the only way you get to know and take steps to reduce the burden, the effect of that deranged state, is by doing, because tests don't lie. And that is why Zinzino has come up with the test-based nutrition. This is practically the first time science has been able to develop to this point to allow us, to give us the opportunity to test our nutrition level, our nutrition index. And the best way to do that is to use the omega-6/omega-3 ratio. That is the best way to do it. Science has proven that. So it is, everybody should be answering these questions in their mind. Would you like to take the test and find out your results? Because definitely, unless you are not so much concerned about your health, then you will be lackadaisical about questions like this. But if you take your health very seriously, which I believe every one of us here, not just here, people all around the world are, then you would want to take your test. At least you will break every barrier to get to know your ratio. Because the campaign now is know your ratio. Because your ratio determines your blood pressure. Your ratio determines your sugar level. Your ratio determines your cholesterol level. Because science has proven that. And because Zinzino wants to help a lot of people to get to know their ratio, I want to give people the benefit of doubt. If your ratio is 3:1, which is within the WHO recommended or within the science recommended, whatever money you spent in getting that test done will be refunded. So if you think that your ratio is normal, you don't, I think my ratio is normal, I don't need to do the test. If your test is normal, you will be refunded. Now, some persons will be asking questions. What is the validity of this test? It is important for us to know that more than 500,000 people worldwide has actually done this test. It might interest you to know that the results, the statistics gotten from these test results are so validated because the lab that does it is an independent WHO certified lab called the Vitas Analytical Services. They are independent. Why are they so credible? If you look at it, they have official partners. If you look at the official partners, you see that these official partners alone have underscored the credibility of this lab. Because WHO certified, is GMP certified. They have GMP certified chemical analysis located in Norway. So Zinzino has not come to establish these labs in various countries. No, because Zinzino is not the owner of the lab. Zinzino does not own the lab. Zinzino only partners with the lab, just like every other institutions like Harvard, University of Cambridge, King's College, that also send samples to the lab because of the tested and trusted result they output from the lab. Also, to maintain the integrity of the tests, they have chosen that all persons who want to do their omega-6 and omega-3 ratio will send their samples to Norway. So you see, that is what we are. And apart from that, when you also get your results tells you a lot of things. Apart from telling you your ratio, the result tells you a whole lot. The omega-6, omega-3, how imbalanced you are, your protection value, your omega-3 index, your mental strength index, your membrane fluidity index. This is something I know a lot of us who have understood, or who is understanding, or who is listening to me today would want to find out. Your membrane fluidity index and your arachidonic acid formation efficiency. Arachidonic acid is a contributor of inflammation. So all those things can, and once you get your test, you will also be advised, you will also be given information, be advised on how to, what you need to change in your lifestyle, what you need to do. You know, it is a personalized information based on your results. And you can track your progress, because after 120 days, you are meant to repeat it. You are meant to repeat your test after 120 days by doing what you have been advised to do to bring your test back to normal. But now, what is it that you will even be doing after 120 days? I will talk about that. But before I talk about that, it is important for us to see the statistics that are coming from the test that has been done. 95% of people in Europe are out of balance. It is a world that is out of balance. That is why at every slightest provocation, people die in their numbers. Life expectancy is reducing. So I can point to you that people die in their prime. You see somebody at the age of 45, age of 50, and you hear he died of heart attack, he died of cardiac arrest, he died of stroke. These things, we have control over them, because it is unlike other causes of death like war, like road traffic accident, that although to some extent, you know, can still be controlled, and some other deaths. But this death from non-communicable diseases, it can easily be controlled by us, the individual. So we see the test, the world is out of balance. The world statistics are shown, and from these same statistics, it has also been shown that those persons who are already on omega supplement, because you tell us, after all, thank God for my omega supplements, I will be using it now. But it might interest you to know that those persons who are even on omega supplements, 20% of them have a ratio of an average of 7:1. 7:1 is still out of balance. Now, why is this so? Is it that the omega supplements are fake or they are not effective? This one underscores why the reasons why we say that these omega supplements can easily be oxidized in the system if we lack polyphenols, if we lack good antioxidants in the system. So most of the omega-3 fatty acids are oxidized before they even get incorporated into the cell membrane. That is why a lot of some other scientists who have done presentations on the efficacy of only omega-3 fatty acid supplement, they will tell you that it has not been shown to be effective. Why? Because the omega-3 fatty acid supplement they are talking about, we are taking without things like good antioxidant backing, like polyphenols, to prevent the oxidation of this molecule before it gets to the cell. Now, what if you have now something, you have a different formulation of omega-3 fatty acid that now has polyphenols content in it, other antioxidants like vitamin E, to prevent the oxidation of this omega-3 fatty acid and get them incorporated fully into the cell membranes by increasing the bioavailability and the volume of distribution in the body. It means that it will be a potent omega-3 fatty acid supplement that will go and correct that ratio. Tests don't lie. And all what we say is proven by the balance tests before and after. So 5% of the populations of those who did it, 3 is to, so of course those people don't need, their money is refunded. But those who are not on any omega supplements, 75% of them are out of balance, having ratios of 15:1 and above. So if you know your category, you can hazard a guess where your ratio will fall in. So we can fix the problem, because once you know this, once you can identify the problem, once the diagnosis can be made, the treatment is already there. The main issue is to identify the problem. And once a problem has been identified, it has already been fixed. So what can we do to fix the problem? What we can do to fix the problem has been contributed richly by the Scientific Advisory Board that is made up of Dr. Paul Clayton, Dr. Ola, Dr. Angela, and Dr. Abraham. These are the best minds, one of the world's best minds in the wellness and nutrition. They came together, having understood the science, having understood the problem, formulated a system of test-based nutrition. A system of test-based nutrition that will help to bring a lot of people out of balance and balance us. It is a global movement. It is a global megatrend that is targeted at increasing the number of persons who have been brought out of balance to be 1 billion by 2050. Zinzino is spearheading that move. And that is why people like me, who are enthusiasts in preventive health via nutrition, via adequate nutrition, are so excited to be partnering with a company like this, are so excited to help the company to spread this gospel to the letter. Because health is wealth. A healthy nation is a wealthy nation. And this test-based nutrition is patented. It means, I'm sure we know what patent means. So these are best minds. We can get to know more about them. Go to Google them, find out about them. You'll be amazed. Now, I said that I will tell you what you need to do within the 120 days when you have discovered that you are out of balance. What do you need to do? Zinzino has been able to proffer solution, not just telling us or identifying scientifically the cause of most of the reasons why we are out of balance. But while you have discovered your ratio, Zinzino has also, through the help of these best minds who are members of the Scientific Advisory Council, to proffer a solution that can bring us back to balance. Because when we are back to balance, our brain functions normally, our hair growth and texture is adequate, our heart functions adequately, our skin elasticity is top-notch, our inner organs, every organ in the body functions optimally, our joints and muscles are adequate, bringing us to that optimal well-being that we need. That is why the solution to this problem of imbalance has been introduced by these best minds all over the world. They did not just formulate an omega-3 supplement. They formulated a balanced oil. It is not just an omega oil. It is a balanced oil, an oil that is balanced to balance the ratio, because that balanced ratio is what keeps us healthy and prevents us from having or being victims of these non-communicable diseases that is plaguing the world much more than COVID-19. Because it contains polyphenols, which will preserve the omega-3 fatty acids, which are the eicosapentaenoic acid, docosapentaenoic acid, docosahexaenoic acid, and docosapentaenoic acid from wild fish, rich sources of them, like the mackerel, the anchovies, and the sardines. These are the good sources of omega-3. They preserve them so that they can get to the cells, because once you take them, it first of all get absorbed to the blood. In the blood, it makes contact with free radicals, but the polyphenols and the vitamin E's shields it from oxidation and takes it directly incorporated in the cell membrane, crashing that ratio. The good thing about it is that it is also dosed by weight. So it is 0.15 mils per kilogram per kg based on your weight. It is scientifically based. It is not just start taking. No, it is scientifically based. So it is geared to give us an adequate supply of between 3,000 milligram to 5,000 milligram of omega supplements on daily basis, depending on our weight. So no oxidation. The polyphenols have cancelled the oxidation, and it is original because of seals, naturally, 100% natural. GMP seals, friend of the sea, keto base. So this is a test-based nutrition, and you see, when you see all these logos, certifications, you know the product is of a high quality product. And you see a study that was done in 2010 to show the longevity, the stability index of what the balanced oil compared to other oils that contain omega-3 fatty acid in the market, and shows that when exposed, that the balanced oil can stay for more than up to 35 hours without getting oxidized because of the olive polyphenols, the natural vitamin E's that are there to prevent their oxidation. So our results are monitored, and once 95% of those who have taken this balanced oil and other products of Zinzino have had a ratio of near 3:1 after 120 days. What does it tell you? You have a deranged ratio, and after 120 days of using the balanced oil and products, and you notice that your ratio has crashed to 4:1 or 3:1 or 2:1. You don't need me or any science or any article or any authority to tell you that what contributed to the crashing of that ratio was the omega supplement, the balanced oil you took. That underscores the efficacy, the potency of the Zinzino balanced product. That is why a question cannot be raised because of this testing base, not guessing base. We are not guessing the efficacy. We are testing the efficacy. We are confirming the validity of the efficacy. Because the efficacy can be measured based on that evidence-based efficacy of omega-3 of the balanced oil by crashing your ratio after 120 days. Now, if you now notice that there is something like this that can actually crash your ratio, you will want to, even your wife that is pregnant or the woman that is pregnant, will want to have it for the baby, because omega-3 fatty acid, wonderful for the baby growing up. Wonderful. There's so much health benefits. There's no time to talk about them here. And of course, even the breast milk of the mother, a woman who has given birth, the breast milk is a rich source of omega-3 fatty acid, but it is also a function of what she has taken. So she will want to be on the balanced product to breastfeed the baby well, so that the baby can have continued health effects. And that continues because at every stage in life, we have a part of our body that has to benefit from the health effect of omega-3 fatty acid. So it is a lifetime thing. It is a lifetime thing. So the beneficial effect of omega-3 fatty acids is lifetime till age. In fact, it determines how you age, because what happens to you, your chronic disease states, your comorbidities during when you are aged at your 70s, 80s, 90s, or what determines how far you can go, even when you are at those ages, is a function of what you have taken via your mouth. It is a function of the amount of omega-3 fatty acids incorporated well in your cell membrane. It is a function of your omega-6 stroke omega-3 ratio. That is why this is a global movement, the world mega trend. And whether we like it or not, these health claims are approved by the European Food and Safety Authority. The European Food and Safety Authority has approved these 18 health claims. These 18 health claims you see of omega-3 fatty acids or omega-3 supplements has been approved by the European Food and Safety Authority based on the evidence that lies in the clinical researches that has been done years and even currently. But the top three that usually is very important is the normal brain function, the normal heart function, and normal immune function. You see the normal vision, normal bone, all these important health claims which contribute to the total functioning, the wellness, total wellness of the body, preventing us from so many of these diseases, have actually been underscored by these researches. Now you see all over the world, even in this current Olympic that is going on, there are some of the participants that are already unbalanced, or you see them sampling their Zinzino balance t-shirt in this current Olympic going on, because how it has helped them to perform better. So most of these other health benefits or testimonials, it is better experienced. Now, reaching a balance between omega-6 and omega-3 is the first step to feel good. It has been shown it has been underscored by scientific articles and researches and evidence. And we can also take a look at other products. For example, the skin serum. The skin serum is, of course, because there's a rich studies talking about the effect of omega-3 fatty acid on the skin. Now, the skin serum is a formula from that balance concept. 24-hour youth formula hydrates and smoothens the skin, improves skin. Now you are taking it in via your mouth, and you also have something on your skin. The two of them are working synergistically to give you that total look, facial look, appearance, reducing fine lines and wrinkles, unnecessary wrinkles that you should not be getting at this age. But because of past lives and intake, you have been, so this brightens up, increased skin elasticity and strength. And this is a powerful antioxidant that was newly developed by Zinzino that has mangosteen. I'm sure we know the importance of mangosteen, and because it's a powerful source of antioxidant. And I've talked about the importance of loading ourselves with antioxidants, because it will help to preserve our good lipids. It will help to preserve, gives longevity of our omega-3 fatty acids intake. So all this, and there are other wonderful balance-based products that Zinzino has in store, which are in the established markets. Now, the global market now, this is what we have: the balance oil, the skin serum, and what this VMA Live. So at this point, I want to stop my presentation and then remind you to ask yourself, would you like to take the test and find your result? Because tests don't lie. At least what we are preaching is for you to get to know your omega-6. It might interest you to know that this omega-6-3 balance ratio is a new concept in science. Most scientists don't know about it. But the only way you can know about it is when you humble yourself and get to do your due diligence and read more about it. What you will see, what you will find out will amaze you. It will definitely amaze you. So there are different of them which you can also do your due diligence to try to get. And don't let your health remain a mystery. Don't let your health remain a mystery. And get access to the balance test and get to know your ratio. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my own experience and my own work.
It's a powerful design. So in a right balance,
And
we
I
get a
want to end with this
superfood.
video, this short
Zinzino provides cutting-edge, products from the new science, promoting foods from food to fight the imbalances in our modern lifestyle. Is healthy. It is a well-known truth that higher levels of omega-3 support a healthy heart, an optimal brain function, and your immune system. How much do you need?
To know this, you have to measure the balance of omega-6 during your weight, which you can do with the Zinzino test. We have tested several hundred thousand people. Our statistics show that 95 to 100 have too much omega-6 and too little omega-3.
Our DNA was programmed with a 1-to-1 balance. Today, the average is 15 to 1. According to the World Health Organization, a healthy balance for the heart should be less than 5 to 1, while science recommends 3 to 1. Balance oil is many times more effective than normal omega-3 supplements. These ingredients help support in most foods that are rich in omega-3, like seafood, seeds, and nuts. We find them also to be rich in polyphenols. Polyphenols are micronutrients known for their power to reduce oxidation in your cells and cell membranes. Sadly, the omega-3 industry ignored this important truth. They left out the polyphenols. Zinzino respects and understands nature. We combine the highest quality omega-3 with the most potent source of polyphenols from a pre-harvested olive oil. When this works together, it creates a powerful synergy. For the final touch, we added the sunshine vitamin, the key for good immune health. Vitamin D3. Add life to your years. There is no other product like Balance Oil. Test yourself and choose one of our Balance products. Balance Oil with great flavors, or Aqua X that mixes with water into a lemon drink.
So thank you very much, Jonathan. Thank you very much, Zinzino, for giving me this opportunity to share in this presentation.
Wow, thank you very much, Dr. Godwin, for that wonderful presentation. And that's really, really a great thing to end, that don't let your health be a mystery. So for us, just take the test so that we will be able to know our ratio of omega-6 and omega-3. So also for the sharer of our balance test, that's also done by this person who is really, really a young entrepreneur from Philippines. He is a 7 years entrepreneur, and he's been doing some forex, stock market, and also a cryptocurrency trader. And he's also a licensed financial advisor for 3 years. And for us to give some sharing about the product and the balance test, please welcome Mentor Jerome Pasqua.
Hi, good day to everyone. Thank you for your introduction, Mentor Jonathan Malaluan. And thank you so much, Dr. Godwin, for that very informative presentation of our products and for Zinzino. And we learned more about our health. Yeah, so as Jonathan said, I am an entrepreneur. I'm a forex trader. Most of my for the past years, I've been really working on creating wealth for myself and for my family. But I forgot some points. I forgot the most important wealth that we have. It's our health, right? So in chasing our wealth and chasing success, most of the times we forget in taking care of our health. And within terms of omega-6 and omega-3 balance, you really won't know if you're really if you're in a bad shape already. If you'll only know if you take the test, or if you are on a worst condition already, if you already have that chronic disease, if you get cardiovascular diseases. And that's why I'm very, very thankful about Zinzino. I already took my test last July 9, and I already received my result last 29th of July. And it was an eye-opener for me. Let me just show you my screen. Let me share you my screen. Okay, here. Is my screen already showing, Mentor Jonathan? Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's showing now.
Okay, so before, I really don't know what my health status is. I really just eat what I want. And since I am really busy doing a lot of things, most of the food that I eat comes from fast food chains, for takeaways or deliveries. And then I took the test and I saw this. If you listen to Dr. Godwin's presentation, the average of the world has an unbalance of 15:1. And when I received my result, it's 41.3:1. It's really high. And I'm only 31 years old. And before I really thought that I am healthy because I'm not getting sick. I'm drinking supplements. I'm taking care of my body. I'm doing exercise. But still, the unbalance is 41.3:1. I'm still high risk of getting cardiovascular diseases, stroke, or any other chronic diseases. So this is an eye-opener for me. Now, to take a step back, check my lifestyle, check the food that I eat. And the good thing here is if I click here on the results, they provide healthy information that I can follow, what I can do to reduce this unbalance, and so also to continue drinking the balanced oil. So this for me is a blessing. Though this is high, but still I'm only 31, I still can take a step back, turn around, get this result better for the days to come. So I hope you guys take your test as well so we can know, because we don't want anyone guessing their health, right? The status of their health or their health condition. So if you are like me, that is really running for success in life, we really need to take care of our health as well. Because even if we get the success that we want, we can get all the money in life. But if we get hospitalized, if we get those chronic diseases, money won't matter. And our family won't be happy as well. So I urge everyone to take your tests and contact the person who invited you if you want to take the test and get the Zinzino Balance Oil. And that's all for me. Thank you so much, Mentor Jonathan, and good day to everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Mentor Jerome, for that wonderful sharing for our participants. And it was really an eye-opener for us, no? That the balance test is really a great thing to do. And that's what Dr. Godwin also said in his presentation, that don't be your health mystery, no? So, of course, for additional closing remarks for our participants, I would like to welcome one of our speakers for tonight. And of course, that this person is one of our an idol or top leader, mentor in our group. He is a current leader, top earner in our international network marketing company. Yeah, in his profession, he's doing it for more than 20 years. So with that kind of expertise, he has this featured trainer of some biggest networking events in the world, like GoPro Recruiting Mastery by Mr. Eric Warre. And he's been also shared stage with Tony Robbins, Les Brown, and a lot of persons like Mr. Richard Branson. So for us to give more closing remarks, without further ado, please welcome Mr. Thomas Finland.
Thank you, Mr. Jonathan, and thank you for a great meeting. Also want to thank Dr. Godwin for a very, informative presentation. Spot on everything, and it's very I feel very safe to have a medical doctor conducting the presentation about this test-based nutrition. And also thank you, Mr. Jerome, for your testimonial. It's like it gets so real when you get your test results and really can see what's going on. And I think, Cincino is the leading, the new global market of, I would say a mega trend about test-based nutrition. And we know that healthcare and healthcare businesses is dominated by the pharmaceutical like magic bullet model where, when the symptom of non-communicable degenerative disease, such as, we can mention cancer or heart disease, when they appear, doctors will normally reach for a drug. That's the normal treatment today. But now, however, we have an alternative. The latest science shows that we can, head trouble off at the pass and stop disease from starting. We know that all these diseases are driven by a silent killer called chronic inflammation. And we know also that this is due largely to nutritional and lifestyle choice that can be changed quite easily. So I would say this, I think everybody on this Zoom meeting know more about health than ever before. But the fact is, we are not getting healthier as people. And as Mr. Jerome shared here, when you have a silent inflammation and your test come out 40-1 in unbalance, there's for sure something that we need to do. But a silent inflammation, or a chronic inflammation is also something that you don't feel that you have until it's too late many times. And we love the idea of preventing disease. So again, thank you for spending your time with us here. And I also want to address one of the questions I saw in the chat here, where if we could name some of the Olympians that's joining us as ambassadors. And it will take too much of our time to go through, but here is, if you go to Cincino official Instagram account, you will see, just the last week, they announced 5 new Olympians that's using our product on a daily basis to improve the results and to compete on a professional level. So we have athletes from South Africa, from Austria, from Sweden, from Poland, different countries that using this product on a daily basis to get 0.11 second better improvement, or recovering better, or staying focused a little bit longer than the competition. So that's the advantage of using this product. And remember when I talk about, how we know that health, we are more aware about the health and thinking about how to get healthier. And still it's kind of going backwards, where we see through the pandemic and everything that the world is getting unhealthier. And the valid question would be why? And I think, one of the dramatic change is the ratio of the essential fatty acid, the omega-6 and omega-3 that you heard Dr. Godwin talk about so great. And Cincino products are especially like designed to bring your balance close to 3-to-1 or better in 120 days. So when you see that test results from Mr. Jerome 40-to-1, when you get on the balance oil every day for your body weight and consume that every day for 120 days, and you do your second test, you know, we have today conducted over 670,000 tests. And someone might ask, how can you prove, you know, this, and how do I get to know my balance? And the answer is through the balance test. And that's why it's so exciting, because you can now do the test. If you are one of the people that do the test, sorry for reaching out into your living room. No, you can do the test. It gets into your doorsteps, sent out from Sweden. The test or the oil or the skin serum that Dr. Godwin talked about, or everything is shipped from Sweden, and it's a flat rate shipment. It's $10 US, no matter if you're in Nigeria, Philippines. I saw we had Congo here, and other countries. So it gets to your doorstep, I would say, between 1 or 2 weeks, within 14 days. But I know today, this week, we had people getting their test within 3 days from ordering, which is exceptional. You know, when we're thinking about, we are still on a global market where we are introducing this concept to new countries. So if you are one of those persons that make the test and the test result comes out that you are 3-to-1 or better, Cincino refund you the money. You get all your money back from your test and your oil that you paid when you signed up for being a customer. So I would say that's very healthy sales approach, where you have a safety net and expanders and a belt, you know, that protects you. And if you are in balance, that's amazing. Continue to do what you're doing. But the only way to know is actually to do the test. And to ensure you that our products are the finest, you know, we are relying on our advisory board. You and your family deserve, you know, only the finest ingredients in whatever you do. There should be blended to create the most effective results for you, and based on the most relevant science available out there. And that's where we are so proud to have this scientific board. Many of who I'm a personal friend with, Ulla Eide, who invented this balance oil. We have Dr. Paul Clayton, that's a renowned doctor around the world and a teacher at many universities around the world in this specific subject. And it's some of the brightest minds in the wellness and nutrition space. So they are here to make sure that you have the best possible product. And Cincino, that's a Swedish-based company. I have worked with Cincino since day one back in 2005. I know the founders very well, and we have now built a solid company, you know, started in Scandinavia, expanding to Europe, expanding to North America, expanding to Australia, and now starting to open up in Asia and dipping our toes into Africa too, who is a great continent, one of the fastest growing economies in the world, but of course, one of the most populated areas in the world as well. So we are very excited and hope you see the possibility to, number one, get yourself tested and get on the product to experience it. So with that said, I'm just encourage you to talk to the person that invited you here tonight, and let him help you get on the balance oil and get the test in as soon as possible, so we can get your test score, and wherever it comes out, get it back to 3-to-1 or better, so you can be anti-inflammatory. So thank you for that. And as we promised, I will stay here for Q&A as well if there's any questions coming up. And I know Dr. Godwin will be here as well. So thank you for taking your time. Appreciate it. And looking forward to help you with this.